Many people have garages, in which case then no problem, you just store the generator in the garage and that's no problem. But when we talk about petrol generators, what with since the introduction of ethanol fuel, there's been an increased danger to people. If you store a generator that runs on ethanol fuel in a damp or humid environment, you increase the percentage of engines failure and carburetors failing, because what a lot of people don't realize is ethanol is a biomass. It's made out of corn. As an organic material, the corn absorbs moisture, and as it absorbs moisture, it forms a gelatin-like substance which can cause a serious impact to the design and functionality of the generator. So in many cases, and this happens over and over again, I've seen so many videos of carburetors that are being cleaned and they're full of gel, like a gel substance. Now this gel substance in itself isn't a huge problem until it blocks the path of the valve seat on the carburetor. Now if you have if you're using ethanol fuel and this valve seat is obstructed by ethanol fuel formed gel, then you've immediately added a higher risk to your own safety because of the way it was stored. So if it was stored in a humid environment, because you initially thought, oh, I'll store it outside because I'm safer then, but then when you need to use it, you might bring it inside, maybe into a garage or into a shed or somewhere, so you can use it. But then the problem is that the safety of the generator's functionality has now been compromised, because the carburetor, you won't know, because unless you clean it or take it apart, but you won't know there's a problem. So what can happen is the valve can open to let fuel in to the carburetor, and the valve can get stuck. If that happens, two things will happen. One is the engine will overflood of fuel, the fuel will continue running into the engine, and it will either stall out, not run, and you'll think, oh damn, what's going on with this, and you'll keep trying to start it, and some people forget to turn the fuel tap off, and what happens then is the engine will continue to fill up with fuel and it will leak out somewhere. Or worst case scenario, the fuel will directly run out of the carburetor by some orifice or hole in the or the, and if you're a smoker, you immediately flashpoint 0, right, to say it bluntly, you know what I mean, dangerous. So you have to weigh up all of the ins and outs about safety. Storing certain engines and machinery in the proper environment is crucial to the safe running and the safe operation of any equipment. Obviously, if you run something, you need yourself to death or fall asleep and just never wake up. Obviously, we need to make sure I mention that. So I actually spoke to the fire brigade the other day because I wanted to get some advice from them, and I was quite surprised by them when they said to me that they had a shed. You pull up. So just to recap, I'm just going to end it there because